Hi, my name is Alan from Alan We Property. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to talk about retirement housing planning. This video is mainly suitable for those that are above 55 years old and have plans to right size to a smaller property and cash out some funds for retirement. I'll be discussing the various considerations before you even think about downsizing. This is because everyone has different financial situation. Next, I'll be sharing the different retirement housing options for homeowners living in HDB flats, private properties, and those with multiple properties. What kind of retirement options are available to you? Let's jump straight into it. Before you explore your retirement housing options, it will be good to assess your financial situation first. You will need to consider how much saving you have right now and how long can it sustain you through your twilight years. You will have to calculate your estimated monthly expenses and factor in inflation over the years. Your saving will include cash flow from your CPF life, rental income, stocks, insurance policies, travel allowance, and so on. You will also need to factor in your age, health, and medical needs. For more information, you can go to this website by Money Sense. This website can help you work out how much money you might need in retirement. There are many other resources available online. Since this is not related to property, I wouldn't be covering them, but you can explore them by yourself. Next, I'm going to share 3 different housing options for homeowners living in HDB flats, private properties, and those with multiple properties. In the first scenario, I'll be talking about owners living in HDB flats. If you're currently living in a 5-room or executive flat, you may consider downsizing to a 4-room HDB flat within the same housing estate. The price difference between an executive flat and a 4-room flat is about $300,000 within the same estate. This is a general guide. Hence, you can consider changing to a smaller HDB flat and unlock some funds for retirement. In addition, a 4-room or smaller HDB flat will also receive a higher subsidies from the government in terms of utility and service and conservancy rebates. If you are staying in an HDB flat in a mature estate, you can consider moving to the outskirts where resale prices are generally lower. For those staying in a 4-room HDB flat, you can consider downgrading to a 3-room HDB flat. However, the price difference between the two is usually not significant. You may not cash out a lot after expenses and renovation. However, you can tap onto the silver housing bonus up to $30,000 cash bonus per household for buying a 3-room or smaller flat. You can refer to HDB website for more information. For those staying in a 3-room HDB flat, you can apply for the studio flat directly from HDB. HDB are selling studio flats with a shorter tenure that range from $100,000 to $200,000 depending on the location. For seniors that have plans to cash out and don't mind leaving no legacy behind, can consider these options. Otherwise, you can just sell a HDB flat and move in together with your children. Another popular option is to rent out your bedrooms for rental cash flow. By the way, HDB builds very affordable studio flat around. One of them is Kampong Admiralty, which is integrated next to an MRT station. Right below is a hawker center, polyclinic, and supermarket. I think HDB deserve a round of applause for this innovation. This is what I call a modern retirement housing village. For those that do not have dependents or have plans to buy in their existing flat, please sign up for HDB lease buyback scheme. This option means you will be selling your flat to HDB and wouldn't be able to cash out if property price go up in the future, or if you need a lump sum for any medical needs. In the second scenario, I'll be focusing on homeowners staying in a private property. If you have investment properties, you can consider disposing of them away first. If you do not own any and have only your current property as your sole property, you can consider moving to a HDB resale flat, provided you fulfill HDB eligibility requirement. Please note that you are only eligible for 4-room HDB flats and below due to the 15-month debarment period announced on September 2022. If you want to buy a 5-room or bigger flat, you can only do so after the debarment period. For most private owners that move to a HDB flat, they will usually be able to cash out a lump sum due to the difference value between a HDB flat and a private property. That is why I always advocate for HDB upgraders that can afford to upgrade. Please upgrade to a private property. The ultimate intention is for retirement down the road. From my past experience in handling private owners that downsize to a HDB flat, most, if not all, are very comfortable moving into HDB flat with a tidy sum of money for retirement. For those staying in landed properties, they will usually move to a condominium, whereas some will move into HDB flats. In the third scenario, this will be mainly for those that own multiple properties. If you have a portfolio of properties, you will be spoiled for choice. You can either sell them or use the cash for retirement. Else, you can continue to hold on to them for rental income. Otherwise, upon your demise, you can either pass them on to your dependent as inheritance properties, as they will not be subjected to any ABSD. However, the inheritance property will be counted as part of the property count if they plan to acquire another property. Let me quote you an example. Madam Tan is a widow with 2 children and each own a property under their own name. Madam Tan passed on and willed the property in equal share to his 2 sons. Both of them can inherit the property without incurring any BSD or ABSD. However, the elder son has plans to buy another property. The half share of the property will be counted as his second property, and he is liable to pay ABSD for his third property. Assuming the elder brother sells his half share to his younger brother, the younger brother will have to pay ABSD for the 50% half share since he already owns 1 property. What Madam Tan can do is to assess the financial needs of his children and bequest the property to the younger son and give cash to his elder son instead. Madam Tan can also set up a trust if he worries that his children will spend away the newfound wealth. A trust is a legal arrangement that allows Madam Tan to place her property and assets such that an appointed trustee can administrate and manage them for the benefit of her children or even grandchildren. A trust can also be used to pass wealth from one generation to the next. It can be used to protect from creditors and during divorce proceedings. Trust may also be useful for legitimate tax planning purposes. In conclusion, for seniors that have plans to right size, please do so when you still have mental capacity. Please do not leave it to the last moment. In any event, if you lose your mental capacity, you will be stuck with your property. You cannot do anything to it unless you pass on. Unless you have a lasting power of attorney or LPA done beforehand. Here, if you have matters on CPF, you can refer to CPA website. I have left the links in the description below. Also, it will be good to speak to your insurance agent or matters regarding your insurance policies. For those that own multiple properties, it will be good to consult our lawyers on legacy planning. Lastly, if you need advice on your retirement housing plans, you can always consult me. I'm pretty good at doing 大屋换小屋. That's all. Please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you find them useful. See you around soon. Thank you.